Hi everyone. It's been forever since we talked. Where have you been? I've been here at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo working on a new hippo and penguin exhibit. You can see when you look around, there's quite a lot done. We have landscaping in, our pools are in, the building is up and looking good, and we even have grass growing in our new hippo exhibit. So that would lead you to the question of why in the world don't we have animals? So I'm going to answer that today. And we honestly haven't had all the information, so we've been waiting thinking more information is going to come in. But we're at a point right now where it makes some good sense to share with you where we're at. I have answers to at least 7 questions that people regularly ask me here. I'm going to go over those with you just so that I can follow a format. The first question is what is the problem? Well, everything's going really well for the most part, with except of one thing. We have cracks in the pools which are causing the pools to leak. And we had leaks in both the hippo pool and the penguin pool. And so in a very small nutshell, that's it. If it wasn't for those things, we would have animals in right now. Those cracks, the next question is always how bad are those? The hippo pool started leaking at about 9 inches a day, and now we're under 2 inches a day. Remember, our goal will never be to get to 0 because we'll always have some evaporation leaving, and we're going to use 3/8 of an inch as a good evaporation amount just for the sake of this discussion. So we really need to get from 1.75 inches down to 3/8. The penguin pool is doing better. It was leaking 3.5 inches a day. We're down now to 3/8 of an inch a day. So we're really just seeing, there's a test that we use to see whether or not we're evaporating at the same amount of rate. And if there is, then the penguin pool is pretty close to being repaired. It's too early to say that though, so I wouldn't want you to quote that. That does leave us with the real problem being in the hippo pool. So the next question is what is the solution? Well, there's been a bunch of solutions, and I'm going to share some of those with you just in a second. But again, the real answer is we don't exactly know what the total solution is yet. We know what got us from 9 inches down to under 2 inches of leaks, but we don't know what's going to get us from 2 inches down to nearly 0. Finally, then, on that topic, the question will be, well, what have you done? And are the contractor and the subcontractor involved, and are they still working hard? And the answer, I just want to say unequivocally, from a team standpoint, both the zoo, the designers, the contractor, and the subcontractor is all working really, really hard on this. We have 100% of their commitment. They came and presented to our board yesterday to let us know what's going on, all the way up to their president and CEO. They're engaged in this project and they know what's going on. So even though it's an unfortunate set of circumstances, the team is still completely intact. So when will we be done? Anything that starts to sound like soon, like the next few days, like the next couple weeks, that would be inappropriate because we're kind of in our 4th phase of the repairs right now. And I'll just share them briefly and you'll sort of remember some of these. Repair 1 is there's like 1,000 construction problems that the contractor has to solve every day. Most of those are quite small. They solve them quite easily, and then we're fixed and we go on with things. For the first 3 weeks of finding our leaks, we really thought it would fall into that category, and it would basically be done very quickly. So we'll call that phase 1. Phase 2 was the most stressful for me because that was the phase where we were getting really close to hippos coming in, and we were still trying to fix whatever cracks. You might remember at the very last minute, we made the decision not to bring penguins and hippos in, mostly because at that point in time, we still didn't know completely what was going to happen with the cracks, and we didn't want those animals to be stressed by the work that was going on. So then now we're kind of in this last phase, which is we found a lot of the problems, but we haven't found them all yet. So now we're getting all the smart people involved, structural engineers, designers, contractors, and we're starting to say, okay, what do we do? We're taking a little while in this phase to make sure we get everything done because this is the phase where we might have more extensive repairs to do. I don't really know how long this phase is going to last, but it's certainly not going to be in the next few days. We're not going to know. There's some extensive engineering that we need to do. Let me just show you the extent a little bit to what the contractors have been doing, because again, I want to say that our partnership with them is still really strong. The types of things that they have to do to find a leak are varied, but a few examples are they can put dye in the water and the dye would trail to a leak just like it would if you put dye in your bathtub and then pulled the plug, it would go down there. Then they found a bunch of leaks that way. Then they had scuba divers go all over the pool and do that exact same thing. They've used ground penetrating radar to find out where the water is going. They've done these systematic tests where they fill the pool completely up and they lower it incrementally at a time, and then they measure if water is lost. That'll let you know if you load it down 3 feet and all the water was lost there, then you would know the water loss is in that top 3 feet. We're doing soils testing, we're doing engineering testing, we're doing survey testing. So it's quite extensive, the work that they're doing to make sure that we do this right. So I guess the final thing, again, I would share with you, I'd circle back to all where we started. The animals are still healthy. They're on standby. They will come as soon as we're ready. We will find out what these problems are. We'll be able to solve these problems, and then we'll do an extensive testing before we bring the animals in. We don't know how long that's going to take. We'll report back to you as we know more information. We appreciate that you're as excited as we are to get this done. You can see that the vast majority of the work is done, and we're really just waiting on these leaks to make sure that we can do as good a job as possible. So with that, I'm out of here, and we'll see you guys soon.